So hey friends, welcome to this week's video. A little bit of different shot and a little bit different microphone setup, so I apologize for any echoing that might happen, but I do need my hands free for this review, so please bear with me. I'm also recovering my voice a bit, so you might hear a little bit of cracks here and there, so hopefully I can bridge the gap in my delivery. But this review is necessitated because I am going on a trip for 2 weeks and it's one of my friend's weddings, so I need a little bit extra for all of the wedding events. Currently, I usually run with a carry-on large away bag and a duffel bag with a backpack. That's usually my go-to setup to go anywhere in the States, but since I'm going abroad and I'm doing a little bit more, I need a little bit more space. So as a result, I was gonna go with away, but I just have had some qualms with my current away bag, so I wanted to explore some different brands, and the one that I came across was the Level 8. This particularly one here is the Voyageur 26-inch, so this would be akin to the, I think the away medium check-in bag. So this is at 26 inches. It weighs about 11.8 pounds, which is about 2 pounds heavier than the away. So it is a little bit burdensome in terms of the weight because it will take away from what you can pack in here. But to me, this is the perfect size because it also prevents you from overpacking. You might be wondering, Volt, why did you do a yellow? This is gonna get super messed up. One, I don't care. I think that stuff brings character to the bag, but also I want to be able to find my bag quite easily when I have to retrieve it. In my past, I've seen people take my bag on accident. The black and blue bags, while they do stay clean, you know, people can accident your bag for them. And for me, I just want to make it really obvious that, hey, it's not your bag, dude. I don't care about scuffs and all that sort of stuff. I think it makes the bag yours and it shows that you traveled. I don't need that pristine stuff. That's more for checked in. So like, this is the reason why I would never do a aluminum bag for my check-in bag, but maybe I would do that for my carry-on because I want to stunt a little bit. The Level 8 system is actually really nice, and one of the big reasons that I wanted to look at this is because of the handle. And this handle, the reason why it's different is because it's hella wide, like so wide. You can put a body through here. Like, the reason why this is good in comparison to what you normally see with the center sort of mast in the middle for most luggages is that there's more stability, but also it does not encumber the space. And we'll get into that when I show you the insides. But for now, let's focus on the outsides. The thing that I will say is that you might need to clean it initially. I'll cut away to where I see that when I first got the bag, it was extremely scuffed. Not extremely, there's just like a little bit of blemish here. So for those blemishes, what I'm gonna do is see if I can just use a wet rag to like wipe it out. You can see it buffs out relatively well with just a wet cloth. I'm assuming if it's a little bit more intense of a scratch, you could use a household cleaner and it would clean that right up a little bit easier. The raised bumps on this, so the diamond finish on this is nice because it does raise it a little bit. It does have some texture to make sure that those scratches that happen and those bumps that aren't as deep. So it does provide some durability. Some other things I like that they've taken really nice care of is that they've added these bumpers on here, and these bumpers are extremely important because, you know, you don't want your bag just laying on the ground when you're setting it down. Obviously, it's going to take some rough and tumbles while checked in, but at least when it's in your hands, you can put it down. There's some nice feet there. It'll stay protected and off of the ground so that you don't get dinged and dead. Obviously, this comes with a TSA lock, super easy to use. Pretty standard, lets you get in, get out in terms of the TSA security if they need to check your bag. Before we open this up, I obviously have to talk about the wheels. The wheel system is extremely smooth, very, very quiet, very easy to move, very consistent in the movement as well. So to me, this is some of the best wheels I've seen. You can kind of rotate it anywhere. Even with a full pack, this thing rolls evenly, and it might just be because of the weight distribution. You just get a very even and controlled roll, which I like. I think that the wheels will hold up pretty well regardless of where you're going. So let's get inside of this. This does use zippers instead of, it's a locker system, but it's not the class that you normally see on large luggages like this, at least the nicer ones. This is just zippers. But I will say, and people give me crap about this, but I will say that they're YKK zippers, and I like that regardless what you do. Whether you're making a piece of clothing or a piece of accessory, whatever it might be, YKK is the way to go. They don't break, they're smooth, that's why I like them. But yeah, really easy zipper to use, and it opens up quite nicely. So here, you will see that these are two mesh zippered pockets. or areas. The dividers are nice. This side particularly has a place for clothing as well as a wet pouch. So again, anything that's like colognes or deodorants or perfumes or whatever they might be can go in here just in case they break. There will be that sort of protection from the rest of your gear. For me personally, I don't actually fill this. So whether I'm using a bag or a July or whatever, they all have this mesh pocket that has storage in it. However, I don't use that because it generally makes it harder to close the bag and it freaks with the system. So I'm not gonna really load these, but you can if you need to and you're maybe packing a little bit lighter. So if we move over to this side here, you do have Huawei zippers. Okay, of course, I love that. As well as just an open spot here. So this is kind of where I'm probably gonna put on my clothes, maybe some shoes, whatever. I'll show you that loadout. But it is unzipperable, so if you want to hide clothes behind this for the dirty stuff, or you just need to clean the lining, you can zip this down and get in there. So moving on to the other side, this is where kind of most of your clothing is going to go because it's a little bit more depthy than the top, since it is that trunk style. Again, they don't have the zipper out on this side, so again, if you wanted dirty clothes on there, I would put the other side, but from this perspective, they do have an individualized liner here. This can fold down, so if you want to shove a little bit more into your luggage, you can, but I do like this divider, if you want to divide out your shoes. For me, I'm putting a camera pack because I need to take some pictures and I don't want to put that in my backpack or my duffel and carry that around. So all my extra camera gear is going to go right here, and then probably put some shoes here. But overall, I do like the fact that it can be a little bit more customizable from here. I think the only thing that people will be missing is that there's not like heavy compression. There is a little bit of give to these edges, so it will allow you to stretch a bit. However, I know some people are really into like having those, like if you would have like a check-in bag, you are used to having like some pull tabs or something like that, or a divider that can really cinch things down. This bag is so big, I don't think you'll need to do that. So I think that's the reason why they omitted it from this design and really just focused on how much space they can give you. As we go inside, you will notice that there is no bar in the middle. And what's great for that is that your shoes can fit flat. Your clothing aren't encumbered by this bump in the middle of the luggage. So since the railings are on the outside, it's a little bit more conducive to spacing. So I just like the fact that I don't have to like maneuver around that piece. And like if I have a cube or if I have a couple cubes, they can just fit side by side without having to finagle with that. Or if I have shoes or something hard there, I'm not, having to deal with that bump in the middle. So I think that's the nice thing about this wide handle, is that all of the railing, all that system is on the outsides, giving you ample room in the middle. So overall, you get about 93 liters all in all, and that's a tremendous amount. So for me, if I'm overpacking this guy, you're gonna get over that 50-pound limit. So if you're an overpacker, you don't mind hitting that, you could even go for the 28 and go way over that. However, the 28 looks nice and attractive because it's a little bit taller, a little bit more distinctive. It has a handle in the middle. But the reason why I would say I would stray away from the 28 is because that handle in the middle doesn't have any reinforcements like the top and the sides. So the luggage carriers, people are going to pull from that. And I don't think that there's a lot of support. I feel like that could be a mechanism of failure. As well as the fact that I think for most people, they want to stay within the limit of 50 pounds. This being a little bit heavier bag, you probably want to just keep with this because it'll stay more compliant with all types of airlines. Again, this will fly based on the measurements, which I'll put here. This will fly domestically in the United States, but also work for international travel as it fits within those compliance measurements in terms of overall length, height, and width as well. So this will just be the first impressions of this bag. Overall, I like it out of the box. There's not much to complain about. Again, for me, this is the perfect size. This is probably gonna be what will be good for most people. There is the larger 28, but I think that unless you're carrying something big and you want to underpack, this will likely be better, because you can overpack this to 70 pounds if you really don't care about weight. But for me, I was able to comfortably pack everything I needed for 2 weeks in Spain, and I got around 30 pounds. That gives me a little bit of space, so if I want to do shopping or if I need to cover something else in there, I can. So I think that's just the perfect amount. If I had any more, I would have to be going over the weight. This is something I'm gonna bring to Spain and see how this handles flights, trains, a bunch of people handling and throwing it around. We'll see how the shell holds up in terms of its overall aesthetic. Is it gonna be easy to clean? Do the wheels hold up to different terrains and things like that, as well as does the weight, behave overall. But I will stress test this, but hopefully you guys appreciate this first impressions of this, and if you have questions about this bag in particular, I'll be in Spain for the next month basically, and I'll just read your comments and I'll test out anything I can. We will be shooting a full review to show my trip a little bit and show you how this holds up. But yeah, appreciate you guys staying in the comments, liking, commenting, doing all the things that you normally do in a video that you like and love. Reviews are still gonna be coming. I don't know exactly at the time, but I do have a plethora of stuff that I wanna shoot while I'm in Spain, and I'm bringing some tech with me. So hopefully I can get you guys some reviews while I'm on trains and things like that. So stay tuned, definitely gonna have reviews. If not, you're gonna get flooded once I'm back from Spain. So stay locked for that. Anyway, as always, appreciate you guys. See you later.